Thanks for being here. How's it going out there?
It's going.
What have you been there? 3-4 months now?
6.
6 already?
Yeah,
Okay,
6
great.
months. So going well so far. It's been busy.
Yeah, good.
So tying into that would be the new terminal project that we're trying to officially wrap up. And the holdback on that is the parking lot. The parking lot has to be finished before we can get the final consent approval for the occupancy permit for the terminal. So the parking lot still needs to be striped and one light put up. And then we can have the final inspection done and open to the public. So I know there's been some questions on why we're still closed out there, but that's why. So hopefully this week we'll have that completed, moving forward with opening to the public. In addition to that with the terminal is the exterior wood beams that have been a process throughout the building of the terminal. Those should be here this week and be installed by Friday, hopefully, weather permitting. And those are just 2 exterior beams that wrap the north side of the building and the south side of the building. Talk about fuel sales real quick, just for an update. In the last 30 days, we've sold 6,836 gallons of Jet A, 1,256 gallons of avgas. So we're on pace with previous years at this point.
Are you still seeing a bit of a bump in volume with the lower price compared to last year?
Yeah, and that's also weather dependent too for the avgas side of things, because that's more for training aircraft, things like that. So, but we are seeing additional operations, so that's always good for future projects.
Great, thank you.
On to hangar rentals. So effective October 1st, I increased the rate from 100 to 150 per month for all the T-hanger facilities. We have 3 rows of what we consider T-hangers. They're called T-hangers just because the inside form a T-shape for the airplanes to go into. So that will be an additional $10,800 of revenue per year going forward, bringing the T-hanger rental revenue to $32,400. So a nice bump in the T-hanger revenue without the money that was associated to those repairs. That's in its current state, with minor repairs that airport staff will conduct.
And what was the cost of those repairs?
We haven't done anything at this moment.
Okay.
We're still
Do you have an estimated cost?
under $5,000 in my opinion for all the T-hangers.
Yeah, please, Councilman Bentley.
I'm sorry. Do you mind interrupting you?
No, you can interrupt, that's fine.
Then I'd like to back up to the parking lot. Is that contractor error?
There was a delay in the parking lot construction, but we also had a cure time of 30 days for the asphalt, and we just passed that recently. So after that, we're allowed to have vehicle wait on the parking lot, and at that time, we can do the painting.
But it is beyond the schedule.
It is
Considerably.
Yeah.
And was the contractor held accountable for that?
No, not at this time. There were some weather delays, significant rains, some compaction tests that were not approved and had to revisit materials. So we're honestly 1 day away from being done.
Okay.
So at this point, we can drive on it, we just don't have the permit because we don't have it striped yet.
I guess I was under the impression that they were expected to be done by the grand opening.
It was paved, but we had to wait that 30 days for cure time.
And as far as the doors, the hangers, are you gonna use the doors that were made? I think there were some doors made.
But there were some doors made by previous staff that I don't feel would be worth the effort to hang. So I believe we can repair the existing doors with much less labor cost.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so corporate hangar number 2, which is our largest hangar at the airport, sits on the back ramp. It's where breakfast is served at the flying event. That was previously not leased, and it is now leased as of November 1st at $1,650 per month. So that's all new revenue for us. That will be $19,800 per year in additional revenue. The tenant for that will be the current aircraft maintenance company that's in what we call the maintenance hangar, which is attached to the old terminal building. So they'll move from that spot into the larger hangar as they're expanding. And then I have multiple individuals interested in renting that maintenance facility that will be vacant. So I don't see any month where we don't have revenue coming from that facility, from them moving. So they move into the hangar 2 on November 1st, and then we would lease their existing hangar November 1st to a new tenant.
What was the maintenance hangar leasing for originally? Was it 600?
600 a month.
Okay, so that one didn't change.
I'm sorry. When you raise the rent from 100 to 150 for the small hangars, the T hangars, is there still a wait list? Did anybody balk?
A few people left, yeah. Yeah, they left right away.
And can you approximate how many are on the wait list now?
I could probably fill it with 25 people tomorrow. So, well, I hate to see them go, but we'll be able to fill the spaces. So.
And you say you have new ones for the maintenance hangar?
Yeah. He's a current tenant, so he'll move out of his T hangar into that larger, if it ends up being him, and then we'll lease out his spot to someone on that wait list. We get calls almost every day for hangar availability, so I don't have any concerns with having empty spaces that aren't generating revenue. Okay. Corporate hangar number 1, which is right by the rotating weekend, does need some door repairs. I know it was discussed over the last year or two about how to approach that. So our goal now is just to have airport staff try to make those doors operate properly. And then that hangar would also see an increase in the monthly rental rate. I haven't nailed that down yet, but I'm thinking somewhere in the $600 to $800. It was previously $400. So we'll have an increase there as well. Another item on the to-do list is moving all the utilities to the tenants and off of the city. So previously, tenants, for say, corporate 1 and 2, they weren't paying the utilities, so they will be going forward.
Starting now? Or
Once we've got to do some meter work and work through that process too. So.
Andrew Mackey, do you have a time frame? How long will that take?
I mean, we've just started discussing the process, and with the terminal, it's been kind of put on the backside of the list for now. But the biggest one would be corporate hangar number 2 that wasn't leased previously, and that was our largest space. So now we'll have that almost about $20,000 a year in revenue from that. So when that wasn't being leased, we were still paying utilities on it too, and now those utilities will transfer to the new tenant.
Yeah, Councilman Flynn?
When you say utilities, is it strictly electric or is there water and gas out there as well?
There's well water, and then it's propane heat.
Oh, okay.
So they'll take responsibility for their tanks and fill in their tanks.
Does each hangar come with its own propane tank then, or?
Hangar, corporate number 1 and number 2 do. The T hangars, they don't have heat, they all have power, they have dirt floors for the most of the space on the floor. There's just one pad for the main gear. And the rest of those hangars are dirt.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
and there's no insulation in those either, so it would be pointless to try to heat it. Okay, so lease agreements, and I'll start moving a little quicker here, but lease agreements, I want to go through the current lease agreements and make sure that all leases have the city listed as insured for any liability such as a fire. Say that we have a stored aircraft and they plug the electrical heater into the engine and it catches fire and burns down an entire row. I want to make sure that each person has their own liability coverage so that we don't have any issues there. So that'll be a lease change. The other lease change would be requiring that all aircraft stored at the airport are in annual, is what we call it, that they have a yearly inspection. It's an FAA requirement. So the goal behind that is to make sure our aircraft that are leasing from us, the hangar space, are active. They're buying fuel, they're flying, they're utilizing the maintenance business at the airport, instead of having people put airplanes in there and not touch them for 5 years. So that wraps up that. We had the terminal grand opening. We estimated 2,000 people attending that. It was a great event, great weather. We had a really nice ceremony. The car show area overflowed. The barbecue truck sold out. So I think next year we're going to try to expand all the spaces and a larger area for the car show, and then expand the food options too after the Exchange Club dinner. And I believe it was the Exchange Club's best year ever for breakfast sales.
Yeah, Councilman Bentley.
And there was a lot of talk from Councilman Soha and others. Can you weigh in on whether Saturday morning would work?
I was just talking about that earlier today. Yeah, I'd like to try a year on a Saturday. So that might be next year. So I'm working on getting other military aircraft to come in and expand it that way. But I think a Saturday would work well. At least give it a shot.
Councilman Flynn?
I think the discussion, Councilman Bentley, would have to be with the Exchange Club, because this is actually their event held at the airport. Since they started 40-some years ago, this is actually an Exchange Club event, so I think any change of date from a Sunday to a Saturday or whatever would have to start with the Exchange Club.
I've spoken to them already about
Have
this.
you? Okay.
Thank you.
Great, thanks.
The AWAS system, which is the automated weather observation station that was in the previous terminal, some people might have realized that when you watch the weather on TV, that Hillsdale had no temperature or forecast available. That was due to the move of the AWAS station from the old terminal to the new terminal, which Brandon James was instrumental in getting that done, so that's up and running now. So I appreciate his help. It was quite the task. So when you watch the news now, you'll see that we're still here.
We have weather.
Yes, we have weather. Credit card processing fees is something I found that we weren't charging for previously. So we're gonna institute your typical 3.5% processing fee on credit card transactions. The previous 12 Kelvin loans that cost us $7,000. So that would be a good change. And then the rest of it is just notes for you on fuel prices, with jet being at $6.78 a gallon, unleaded at $5.28 a gallon. And then I listed our current user fees as well.
Great, very thorough. Thank you. All these changes look awesome. Any questions, comments from council, staff, Councilman Flynn?
Just one other question, Travis. On the lease agreements, are these agreements that you want to institute, are these ones that pilots are used to? That they would expect pretty much anywhere? This is not going to be new?
So it's boilerplate stuff. I've run numerous hangars throughout Michigan over the course of the last 20 years, and you have a lease agreement.
Okay.
And they're usually a bit more thorough as far as liability goes. So I just want to get us updated a little bit.
Okay, thanks.
There are agreements in place, by the way. We do have those in place now. I'm just modifying the language in the agreement.
Thank you.
Would you like to comment on any upcoming projects, or is it too early to talk about anything at this point?
I mean, right now we don't have anything that's near future.
Okay.
I had a meeting at MDOT in Lansing a few weeks ago, and the discussion with MDOT was just the taxiway connector for taxiway Charlie. And we're working on a plan to save the hangars.
Excellent.
So if we don't bump that taxiway out, we'll lose all those buildings. And if we lose those hangars, we lose a significant portion of our revenue.
It sounded like the previous director had an agreement worked out for that.
Yeah, she was working on those
Okay.
things, so we'll be able to maintain that revenue. The state won't pay for new hangars, so it would all have to be private investment, which is tough to get. So if we can keep the ones we have now and utilize those, we'll be in a much better spot.
Excellent. Anything else, council, staff?
Thank
All
you.
set? Thank you
Thanks.
very much. Thanks for being here.
Mhm.